and give God some real true praise in the house this morning. Come on, God is good and God is worthy to be praised. For the land to be in the land of the living, I need you to put those blessed hands together and give God praise. God is I need to see by show of hands how many of you are glad to be alive today. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I need to see by show of hands, is there anybody in the house who's ready to give God some praise? I need to see by show of hands, everybody ready to praise God. Hallelujah. I don't know about you, but I came to church to give God some praise this morning. So before I take my text, before I share with you what God shared with me, I think we need a little praise break in the house this morning. I know you still have a lot to do for Christmas. Today is Christmas Eve, as my mother used to call it. But right now, it's time for us to take a praise break. Forget about all the gifts that you still have to buy, that you don't have money for. Forget about all the dishes that you still have to cook. Right now is praise time. Right now is time to give God some praise. So I need you to come to your feet for a few moments. I need everybody standing, and I need you to give God your best praise. Just turn to him and give him a hug. I'm glad you're sitting next to me this morning. Let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. God is good. God is good. Let us adore him. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about what God is doing in this season. I know that this can be a rough season, but you know, I still feel God moving, and I feel God doing what only He can do. What only He can do. Let's If you have your Bibles, I'm going to ask that you would turn to the Gospel of Luke, the second chapter. The Gospel of Luke, the second chapter. I want to read for your hearing this morning verses 1 through 7. And this morning I'll be reading from the New International Version. Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, 1 through 7. And it reads, in those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. Let us pray. Let us pray. Father God, I come before you right now, God, to give you glory, to give you honor, and to give you praise. Father, I come before you right now, Lord God, inviting you in, Lord God. Father, I'm asking now that your Holy Spirit would saturate this place, Lord God. Father, I pray right now, Lord God, that you would just make your presence known in this sanctuary, Lord God. Father, I pray, Lord God, for everyone under the sound of my voice, Lord God. Father, my prayer this morning is that they hear a word, that they hear a sentence, that they hear a paragraph that will help them to hold on a little while longer, Lord God. Father, I pray right now, Lord God, that you would would just move from heart to heart and breast to breast, Lord God. Father, I pray right now as family, Lord God, that you cover each of us, Lord. Father, now my prayer is that you would do what only you can do, and that is to be God for each of us in this moment, Lord God. Father, if it's your will, deliver somebody. If it's your will, save somebody, Lord God. If it's your will, set somebody free this morning, Lord God. Father, if it's your will, uplift somebody on this morning, God. Father, and today we come to give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory that you are worthy of, Lord God. Now, Father, my prayer is that you sit Valerie down, Lord God, and that your spirit stand up in her, Lord. So now, God, have your way. It's in the precious, it's in the great, and it's in the mighty name of Jesus the Christ I pray. Amen. 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 God is good. You may be seated. You may be seated. Praise God. It's good to be in the house of the Lord this morning. It's good to see each of you here today. I welcome all of the visitors in the house this morning. I thank you for visiting us, Veronica and Mark. Thank you so very much for coming and visiting with us. To Donna, it's good to see you back in the house this week. God is good and God is worthy of the praise. This morning, I want to preach to you from the theme, the birthing place. The birthing place. Brothers and sisters, having a baby is one of the most wonderful events that can happen to a couple. It is sometimes hard to even put into words to watch a newborn come into the world. For the mother to have a baby grow inside of her as you talk to your baby, as you rub and feed the being that is inside of you. To feel the movement of life inside of you is an awesome experience that is like none other. And you know, we cannot leave the fathers out. To see new life emerging is unforgettable. And to hold that precious baby in your arms for the very first time, what an experience. But it is a journey to get to that place. For 9 months, ladies, you carry that child. And then the day comes for you to go to the hospital. We used to call them maternity wards. I don't know what they call them anymore, but they have changed over time. Some of the birthing rooms now look like hotel rooms. Some of the birthing rooms are absolutely beautiful. When you go in, you don't even want to go home. You want to stay in that beautiful room. They look like a family room with a bed in it. You see, they have created a family-friendly environment where family and friends can even stay during the delivery. They are decorated with the newest furniture and the brightest colors. It feels like home. But birthing places have not always looked that way. They haven't always looked the way that they do today. If we could flip back some 2,000 years ago to the birthing place of Mary's baby boy, it was very, very different. As a matter of fact, it was nowhere near what the birthing places look like today. You see, Mary's baby, Jesus was born in a stable. And even a stable back then doesn't look like what a stable looks like today. To be honest, a biblical stable, or in biblical times, a stable was more like a cave. It was a cave, and the cave was full of animals. It was probably dark, it was dirty, and it was smelly. You see, there were no sterile masks to be worn. There were no color-coordinated furniture and a nice flat screen TV on the wall. There were no doctors and no nurses. There was Mary, and there was Joseph, and there were animals. Absolutely correct. That is it. Now, Mary and Joseph were very new to this birthing place. You see, neither of them had a resume that said they had experience in having a child. This was a first-time experience for them. But they were there because there was no room for them in the inn. But Mary was in this birthing place, and God said it was time. You see, there are some people that are here this morning under the sound of my voice, and God wants to take you to your birthing place. There is something that God has placed deep down inside of your belly, and God is saying to you that it's time. It's time for you to journey to the birthing place. You see, my sister and my brothers, you too are pregnant with possibilities. And you know, someone has been carrying it for far too long. And the truth is, if I can be honest this morning, is that if you don't give birth soon, it will die inside of you. But I know you're saying, I'm not ready. Not today. But I've come to let you know this morning that God is saying that it's time for you to journey to the birthing place. I need you to look at your neighbor and say, it's time. It's time. It is time. But you see, there are some things that you have to know about the birthing place before you can go in. I know that it's an unfamiliar place for just about all of us. But I want to share with you some things that I believe Mary and Joseph learned about the birthing place. And I think they will help us as we journey to that birthing place. It's hard to get there. Can I see all of the mothers in the house this morning? Can you just put your hands up for me? Let me see your hands. What was that journey like to your birthing place? Was it hard? Were you anxious to get there? Was it what you expected when you got there? I see you shaking your head no. I see. The first thing that I want you to know is that the birthing place is a place of discomfort and inconvenience. Discomfort and inconvenience. You see, the birthing place will not be an easy place to stay. It won't be an easy place to go to. It won't be an easy process to go through. You see, in the birthing place, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in that birthing place. You have to be ready to accept rejection in that birthing place. You see, Joseph knocked on doors trying to find a place for Mary to have that baby, but time and time again, the door was shut in her face. You see, you may have to have your baby in a place that you don't want to. You see, it may look like the wrong place, but it's actually the right place. You see, it's hard to believe that the cave was the right place. You would have thought that a king would have been born in a palace. You would have thought that a king would have had all of the beautiful surroundings in order to be born. You would have thought that it would have been clean and it would have been sterile. It would have been picture perfect for a king to be born. But see, can I tell you that often God will take you in a place to have your baby that you just cannot understand. Why am I here and why now? You see, the cave was the right place. You see, the birthing place is also a place of seclusion. Can I tell you something? And hear me say this. Everybody cannot be in your birthing place. I know you want all your family and friends around when you birth what it is that God has placed inside of you. But I've come to tell you this morning that everybody can't be in that place. When God is ready to allow you to give birth to that thing that you've been carrying inside of you, everybody cannot be around. You see, I don't believe in coincidences. God could have orchestrated things in such a way that somebody had a room in Bethlehem. Somebody could have opened the door and said, sure, you are about to give birth. Come on in to my place. Come on in to a nice, comfy birthing room. But God said, no, that's not the place. You see, your crib will be a manger or trough where animals eat. That's where your baby will be born. You see, God could have arranged for Jesus to be born in a palace, but instead he said, I need Jesus born inside of a cave. You see, I need you to be born in a cave with no one else around but Joseph and the animals. You see, I want to tell you that God planned a cave, a birthplace. That wasn't a coincidence. That was God's plan. You see, there's somebody here and you're fighting the place where God wants you to go and give end, the wrong people would have been around. You see, at the end, if no one realized that the king, capital letters, not a king, was born, word may have gotten back to Herod too soon, and they would have tried to kill baby Jesus. You see, what I'm trying to say to you is that God has to keep you protected, so he will not let you have an audience in your birthing place. I'm going to say that one more time because somebody needs to hear that this morning. You see, God has to keep you protected so that he will not let you have an audience for your birthing place. You see, my sister and my brother, everybody is not ready for what God is about to do in you. You see, you want to have your birthing place in public, but God is saying, no, I need your birthing place to be in a cave. Your birthing place must be in a cave so that he can continue to shape and make and mold you, so that at the appointed time you will walk out and you will be ready for your God assignment. You see, sometimes we want a huge audience. We want a whole bunch of people watching as we give birth, but God said no. It's the wrong people. You see, I need your birthing place to be in seclusion so that God can put all the people and all the pieces in place and all together for you. I need your birthing place to be in seclusion so I can wrap my arms around you. So, who was there? Who was there? Joseph. Joseph. Now, in biblical days, men were not around when women had babies. That's just not what they did. It's not like it was today where the men go into the delivery room and they watch or they participate or whatever it is that they do. But it wasn't like that back then. But Joseph was different. God chose him for this assignment. And let me show you why. Joseph was a man and not used to what he had to do for this assignment. Joseph was a carpenter. So Joseph knew about tools. He knew about making things. He was used to, getting dirty and, being around dust and sand and all of that. But in the birthing place, even though he was not used to it, he was there for Mary. He said, baby, I'm not going to leave you. I got you. I'm going to stay right here. The circle of people that are in your birthing place must be people that will comfort you, support you, push you, and encourage you. Amen. You see, that's why you must be prayerful and careful about who you marry, about who you have in your life. And I'm talking to both the men and the women. Whoever you are with must be able to stand beside you, comfort, support, push, and encourage you as you give birth to to whatever it is that God has placed inside of you. You see, can you imagine what it would have been like if Joseph had said, I can't stay in here. This is too much for me. I don't like the sight of blood. I don't even know what to do. I'm not even supposed to be here. Technically, this isn't my baby. Can you imagine what that place would have been like for Mary? You see, I don't know about you, but I don't need anybody in my birthing place that is full of negativity. I don't need anybody that is full of negativity in my space. When it's time for you to give birth to whatever it is that God has placed inside of you, you better find somebody that's going to comfort you, that's going to support you, that's going to push you and encourage you. You need people who will know how to say, come on, sister, you can do it. Amen. Come on, brother, I know you can do it. Come on, it's time to push. Yeah. Remember, you don't need a big crowd. Yep. You just need the right crowd. Amen. Amen. The birthing place will be a place of seclusion. But you need the right people around you. I need you to look at your neighbor and say, push. Push. Look at somebody behind you and say, it's time to push. It's time to push. Come on, say it like you mean it. It's time to push. You see, sometimes in life, we are so afraid of our birthing places. We're afraid to be uncomfortable. We're afraid to be vulnerable. We're afraid of being in a smaller setting or around a smaller group of people. But I've come to tell you this morning that that is right where God wants you so that you can give birth. Yeah. Let me tell you something else about the birthing place. You see, the birthing place is a place of discovery. It's a place of discovery. In that birthing place, you are going to discover exactly what God has put into you. You are going to discover exactly what you're made out of. You are going to discover who God really is in your life. And you're going to discover your true identity. You see, Mary went into the birthing place as just Mary. But she came out as the mother of the Savior, the mother of the Son of God. And Joseph came out differently too. You see, when you go into the birthing place, when you come out, you will not be the same. Your identity will be different. When you come out, you see, you're going to know that God has placed something inside of you and you've given birth to it, and you're going to realize that you can no longer be the same. Your identity is going to be changed in your birthing place. So you might as well get ready for an identity change. If you're ready to go into your birthing place, you are not going to come out the same. You are going to come out wiser and stronger and better. You're going to come out ready to move forward and to do what God has called you to do. But can I show you one more thing before we end for today? I want to show you that God is in control. God is in control. It may look like your birthing place is a mess. It may look like that you should not be there. But God is saying this morning, I need you to trust me with all of your heart and trust me with all of your soul. I need you to know that I have orchestrated every last detail of your birthing place, your journey to the birthing place and your journey after the birthing place. But note this, you cannot stay in that birthing place. You see, Mary didn't stay there. Joseph didn't stay there. Baby Jesus did not stay there. After they gave birth, they had to leave that birthing place. You see, somebody here, you've had your baby, but you are stuck in the birthing place. And God is saying now it's time for you to step out. It's time for you to step out. It's time for you to move forward. You see, I need somebody in the house this morning to give God some praise for your birthing place. I know that it's a little uncomfortable. I know that you aren't used to this place. I know that it's a painful place. I know that you don't have all the people there that you want to be there. But God sent me on the 23rd of December in 2018 to let you know that it's time for you to go into that birthing place, and it's time for you to give birth to whatever it is that God has placed inside of you. So, preacher, I'm not sure that God has placed anything in me. I don't feel like I'm pregnant with possibilities. I've come to let you know this morning that God has placed something deep down inside of you. It was there from even before you were born. It was there even when you were in your mother's womb. It's deep down in you. Now it's up to you to figure out what it is. God will reveal it to you and then give birth to whatever it is that God has placed inside of you. I need somebody here this morning to say, God, I know you got something deep inside of me. God, I know that you placed it inside of me. God, it's been growing. God, I can feel it moving. Can anybody feel it moving deep down in your soul? And it's almost time for you to give birth. Come on, I need somebody in the house this morning who really believes that God has placed something deep down inside of you. I know it's a little bit scary. Can you imagine what Mary felt like in that stable, in that cave? It was dark. It was cold. She only had Joseph with her. Can you imagine what she felt like? I think somebody in the house can, because you've been pregnant and you know what it's like to be in that dark place. You see, I'm not talking about having a baby. I'm not talking about having a little baby with eyes and nose and hands and feet, but I'm talking about having that thing that God has placed inside of you. I don't know what it is, but somebody in the house, it's a ministry that God for somebody else in the house. It's a gift that has been in you forever and it's trying to well up and spill over, but you keep suppressing whatever it is. God is saying, now is the season to give birth. Now is the season to push. Now is the season for you to have whatever it is that God has placed inside of you. I need somebody in the house this morning to say, God, I know you have something inside of me, and God, I'm ready for the birthing place. I'm ready for the birthing place. God, I know that it's not going to be easy. I know, God, that I might have to cry. I know that it might be painful, but God, I thank you for the people that have sent in my life. I thank you for the Elizabeth that you placed in my life. I thank you for the Joseph, for the Josephine that you placed in my life. And God, I am ready right here and right now. God, I'm ready for the birthing place. Is there anybody in the house and you're ready? Come on, I need you to be ready. You see, there may be somebody else in the room this morning, and they're just not sure. They aren't sure. It's like, preacher, I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm just not sure.
That's right.
I'm feeling something moving on the inside. I've been carrying this thing for a while, but I just don't know what to do. I need you right now to take somebody by the hand, just one person, just take them, and I need you to tell them, you gotta push. You gotta push. Tell them it's in you. It's in you. You gotta push. Now, I need you. Don't let the hand go down. I need you to give them a gentle push. A gentle push. Come on. Push them. Push them. Come on. Give a gentle push. Push them again. Until somebody starts to feel. The road may be rocky, the road may be hard, it will be full of ups and downs, but I'm on my way to my birthing place, and I'm going to birth what it is that God has placed inside of me. Come on, now I need you to give God some real true You see, the birthing place is not an easy place.
Come on now.
Everybody can't be there. You may want somebody to be there with you, but they may not be able to be there with you. Trust who God sends around you. Trust where He sends you. If He sends you to that cave, that's the place for you to give birth. He's going to send some wise men around you, some wise men to bring you some gifts. It might be a year later, but He's going to send you some wise men to and say, you doing all right. You doing okay. Keep it up. Don't stop. God is good. Come on, I need you to give God some praise for your broken place. Come on, I need you to give God some praise for your broken place. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on, come on, You see, I would imagine, Vanessa, that Mary never thought once she had that visitation from the angel, and the angel told her that she was going to give birth to the Son of God. I don't think Mary thought she'd end up in a cave with nasty, stinky animals, animal dung all around. You know, back then the birth rate, so not really the rate, but a lot of infants died because it was so dirty. They didn't have the sterile conditions that we have now. So when Mary, if we can take our halos off for a minute, when Mary walked into that cave and realized that's where she had to have her baby, can you imagine what was running through her mind? I know we say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you, I'm going to trust you, I'm going to trust you. But that's probably what she had to do. She had to have a conversation with herself. God, I know what you said, but God, I'm in this cave with this king. How is this going to work out? But I can see God placing his lips to her ears. Trust me, Mary. Trust me, Mary. I got this. You are going to have the Savior of the world, the King. No, it's not the way you thought it would be, but it's the way I orchestrated it to be for you. Trust me. This morning, God is whispering in somebody's ear, trust me. I got you. Trust me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I know the journey has been long. I know the journey has been hard. I know that it's been full of ups and downs, painful places, confused places, full of doubt. But God is leading you to your birthing place. Leading you to that place where you will give birth to what it is that God has placed inside of you. When I see a woman who's pregnant and they're together, they have such a glow. They have such a walk. They know it's something special going on the inside of them. When you leave here today, I need you walking and talking like you know that God has placed something special inside of you. Your head's not down. Your head's up. Even if you're not sure. That's right. Come on, and after today, you leave all doubt aside. It's in you. He placed it there. He's not going to let you abort your baby. Let me say that again. He's not going to let you abort your baby. You're going to get to that birthing place. And when you get there, you're going to have people around you.
Thank you, God.
Doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to be a crowd. And they're going to be saying to you, push.
Yeah.
They're going to be saying to you, I got you.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. I know it's not the way you thought it would be, but that's all right. God is orchestrating every last step.
Jesus. My God. Yeah.
Hallelujah. The Bible says that when baby Jesus was born, she wrapped him in cloth and she laid him in the manger.
That's right. My Lord.
And then the angels started to rejoice. There's going to be some rejoicing going on in the house when you give birth. God's going to have his arms all around you.
My Lord.
Trust his timing. Trust his movement, his orchestration in this place where he wants you to be. Nobody may not understand it, but it's not for them to understand.
My God.
It's between you and God. And what he's telling you, your birthing place. Your birthing place. Hallelujah. Come on, you can give God some praise. Give God some praise in the house this morning. Give God some praise for your birthday. Give God some praise for what he has inside what he's going to do. Come give God some Hallelujah. God is good. We're standing on the